Mr. Fisher, continue.
Yeah, let's move on now to the mosquito spray. We're coming upon that time of year. I had asked in previously for Public Works Department to look into the possibility of conducting the mosquito spraying through Public Works Department versus going out for bid to see if it was feasible and how the money would line up and those sorts of things. Because there's some schooling that has to be taken care of, mixing chemical expertise, etc., etc. So I'd like to go ahead and put it in public forum and let Mr. Felix begin to talk to us about that, so that we can decide what we're going to do now as we move into the springtime and try to get ahead of this game with the mosquitoes this year.
Mr. Felix, come to the podium, please. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. President, other board members. Basically, the mosquito program can be done by Public Works. The first year, it would cost approximately $200,000, to be exact, $198,300.
The first year?
The first year. You have to, right, you have to buy a
vehicle. Pass out that we can look at it.
Sure. That total includes vehicles, spray machines, adulticide chemicals, larvicides, and traps, gas, and training. And additionally, that would be including 3 additional crew members to assist with the spraying, since that time of the year is also the mowing season. So that would be a strain on the department.
And then after that, go ahead with the preceding years after that.
The second year, it would decrease, since we've purchased all the equipment and vehicles, to $34,000 a year.
Plus your employees.
Right. They would just be part of the department at that time.
So what you're looking at is an initial cost, which basically is a 60, 76, and 36. I'm sorry, 50,000, 76,000, and 36,000 will be for crew members to hire initially 3 members, bring on 4 trucks and 4 spray machines. So the trucks and spray machines are an initial one-time purchase.
Correct.
And that comes out to 106,000 of that. So as you figure through this, do you recall what we were spending in years past on this?
I do not. That was managed through the county administrator's office.
Do you recall the statement what was being spent?
No, sir. That was before my time, so I had not prepared. I could have researched.
As I recall, it was
research for the
significantly more than
information.
this, even the initial amount. I'm sorry, it was in line with the initial amount every year versus spending it the first year and then dropping down to the $34,000 range. Can you talk a little bit about how you would cover the county on every week, or whatever the process would be for that?
Similar to how it's done in the past, we would just, you normally spray during dusk, so we would schedule the employees to work possibly from 2 to 8, something like that.
In the unincorporated area.
Right.
Let me know.
Well, I was just going to say, just follow up with that. So spraying in the unincorporated areas, you probably figure 3 or 4 hours, Monday through Friday.
Right.
And then the county, ideally, would be divided up equally in loads every night.
Right.
And all 4 trucks would function, or would you have 3 functioning with a backup? I mean, how would you?
We'd have 3 functioning with a backup, plus we would also not only spray, but we would have a larvicide program, where that's the important part, where we put down pellets to initially kill the mosquitoes before they even.
And would the county, would the Public Works Department put down the pellets, or would the pellets be available to the public to pick up and use and to do themselves?
The county would do that within the right of way.
And would there be any pellets that are available for the public to pick up, or is it just going to be a right-of-way program? The pellets are available just for the right-of-way?
That would be a decision the board would have to make.
Okay, before we go to Mrs. Calhoun and then to Mr. Stokes, let me just ask a question, Mr. Felix. In Australia, it's wintertime. So assuming or just making a statement or trying to assume that we're not in Australia, what would your people be doing now? Because the mosquito season only lasts from April to September, so...
3 additional employees?
The 4 additional one that's received.
Actually, it's just 3. We would use 1 existing employee to be a crew leader. So
do
there
what?
would be 3 new employees.
So what would
Those
they be
3 new
doing?
employees would be cleaning out ditches, drainage facilities, repairing potholes, things we routinely do. That
Okay.
never goes away.
Okay. Mrs. Calhoun, then Mr. Stokes.
Ms. Lovell can provide you with the information of what we've paid in the past for mosquito services.
In 0809, that year, which is 2 fiscal years, you had a 9-month contract, and that total was $233,901
For a year.
for 1 year for 9 months.
Let me just ask, what did we pay last year and the year before that? Because I think it went down to like,
60.
we didn't pay 60,000. Yeah, 1 year we did not spray at all, and then last year we paid sprayed only 2 months.
In FY12, you did not pay at all. I believe you actually paid this year.
Correct.
$17,065 is what you paid for the 1 month.
Okay. Everything is Mrs. Calhoun, we're going to go to Mr. Stokes. Mr. Stokes?
Thank you. Ms. Willis, how much did you negotiate the contract with Mr. Hawthorne? 2 sprays we had approved last year, not that 1 month of 17.
Pay reduces to $17,500 per month.
And I think some of us, we had a couple of 70-something thousand, I don't know. I don't remember. I know you-
Right, he did, I'm sorry, Supervisor, he did give a proposal prior to that, was about $78,000 for 5 months
Okay.
at one point.
78,000 a month.
No,
For the 5 months.
total. For the total. Mr. President, it's always easier we can, especially experienced companies who's in the business of spraying for mosquitoes, continue to do that job versus trying to train people. That chemical charge, chemicals, the price escalate, even though we have a price on it that's reasonable, you never know how much chemicals going to increase to. You never know how much gasoline going to increase to. I just think it's the best thing is to let a private company continue to spray and do for mosquitoes.
Okay, Mr. Fisher?
Of course, I'm not looking today to take any action on this, simply to get the information out there so the board understands, and so the board can see that there are varying prices we can do. If the board chooses to go out for a request for proposals, 1, I suggest we do that pretty quick so that whoever we choose can be in line. But number 2, that we actually go out for a request for proposals. Once again, this does not fall, in my opinion, under professional service, as designated by the laws of the state. So I think that if we go out for a request for proposal, we have a base now, background of information, and I think if we go out for a request for proposals, I think we'll get some tremendously better prices than we've been paying in the past for this same service. We seem to be all over the place. $17,500 for 1 month. Then the next number we get to $78,000 for 5 months, which is about $10,000 a month. So I mean, we're kind of all over the place here. So I would make a motion that the Board of Supervisors go for a request for proposals for spraying the unincorporated areas of Hines County. Wait a minute. Should we spray, because the Public Works has contracts with Raymond, Bolton, and Edwards for their Public Works proceedings, should we, with the exception of Jackson and Clinton, try to spray in those cities, or should it just strictly be unincorporated? As it been in the past, has it only been unincorporated?
It's my understanding just in the unincorporated areas.
My motion then is that we go for request for proposals for the unincorporated area of Hines County for mosquito spraying and abatement program. That would include larva control as well as the spraying.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Discussion? I have one additional question that I want to ask maybe the board attorney is, have we been able to determine at this particular point whether or not that is a professional service? Because you do have to have expertise, you have to be certified, and you have to have a license in order to spray certain chemicals, and even to be able to purchase certain chemicals. Wouldn't that make it a contract that we would have to, that we would make it a special service contract?
Well, the issue hasn't been placed before us, and we can certainly take a look at it. However, we certainly wouldn't say definitively that it is not a professional service.
Okay.
Did you say definitively that it is a professional service?
Not without looking at it.
So basically, you don't have anything definitively to say about it.
Well, the fact of the matter is, you can opt to put out an RFP for any type of services you choose to. However, I wouldn't say that this is I would certainly not say that this is a professional and not a professional service, because in the past you have basically classified it as a professional service.
Right.
But it's not up to the board to classify it. It's up to the laws of the state as they're written. So if you review those laws for us and bring those back. In the meantime, let's go out. I think we ought to go out for a request for proposals just to see what kind of pricing we get and how different I believe it will be versus just going to one person and saying, have at it and send us a bill.
Okay. Any additional comments? It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor of? Aye. Opposed to?
No.
No. Motion fails. Thank you very much, Mr. Fredericks. We'll now continue with